All right, there we go. I don't know why previously that was not working, but now my live stream is going up. All right. I think it's going. Perfect. All right, if you're coming back to this video after it's been uploaded, feel free to leave a comment down below if you have questions specifically pertaining to the Perry homes over at North Sky and Celina, or over in that North Texas market, any other developments. Also, any developments or neighborhoods or home tours that you guys want to see also on the channel, feel free to leave that down below in the comment section if you were not able to see this live stream while it was going on live here at 6:25 on this Wednesday. I'm starting these live streams about 6:20 and 6:30 p.m. now on Wednesdays, so join me then. Maybe next week you can join me. Either way, we're talking about Perry homes today, so that's probably why you clicked on this video, just to get a little bit of an update on the floor plans and maybe my take on some of the homes within here. So last week, someone had commented about Perry homes, and they were asking not specifically about a neighborhood, but they did ask me about some floor plans. So I just figured I'd pick a neighborhood that was fairly popular, that I've had other people that I've worked with within this neighborhood, or have came in asking me questions about this neighborhood. This one is pretty popular. Now, we'll go into the map real quick just to show you where North Sky is. So right now, when I talk to people about North Sky when they're looking in the Celina market, I would say the number one pushback with this neighborhood is where it's going to be located right now. It's one of the furthest northern developments with the best builder, in my opinion. It's really not until you get maybe up into Gunter, Texas, you're going to find some custom model homes that are going to be better potentially than these production builders. But for example, you know, you've got Del Webb, D.R. Horton, Pulte Homes over here at Legacy Hills. And those builders, I don't think really compare with the Perry Homes in American Legend within here. However, there is Taylor Morrison, and K.Dot Hovnanian, I believe, is also building in here in the future too. I would put American Legend and Perry Homes on that upper scale. I put Taylor Morrison and K.Dot Hovnanian on that lower tier of things, kind of in line with a Pulte, but maybe a little bit nicer just by a slight margin, but really not a huge difference. Probably going to be all within like the same budget of things. So also with this area here, the reason I like it is because it's in the middle of Preston Road and Dallas, where the Dallas North Tollway is going to build through. I would imagine that the Dallas North Tollway is going to be built up through here in the next 10 years conservatively, I would say that, but it could be realistic. It could be up through this way within 6. They plan on getting it up to Celina Road, which is a little bit further down here where the Methodist Celina Medical Center is at this intersection of 428 and Dallas Parkway. That's where they're going to build it up through. That should be by, like, I'm going to guess the end of 2026, 2027. So maybe the Dallas North Tollway is pushing up through here by like 2030 into the future. Either way, this neighborhood is right off Preston Road, so you're going to have easy access to be able to get to the grocery stores. Hospital ERs are probably going to start getting built more up into this area. The ERs are kind of a hit or miss once you get this far, but they are bringing in this big hospital system at this corner down here, which is not too far away from this neighborhood. And then also, you've got Costco, Lowe's. Not really a huge mixed-use development per se in this area, but there are going to be some restaurants like Chipotle and I believe Cava. They've got a sign out there. It's also across the street from Celina High School. It's located right by the new middle school and the new elementary school that got built there too. So those schools are new right now, but you know, in 6, 7, 8 years, those schools aren't going to be new. They're going to be a little bit older. There's still probably going to be plenty of fields up this way, probably 6 years out. I would say most of this stuff, I think it's still going to take another decade till you see most things up towards Gunner starting to get filled out more. I think there's still a lot of space down here. And over in this western area, I think you're going to start seeing this western area develop a lot more than this further north area right before you get into Gunter. And then it's going to kind of skip over Gunter, skip over Dorchester, and then you're not going to really see any more big developments coming in until you really get up to Lake Texoma on the Oklahoma border or over in Sherman, Texas. So overall, this neighborhood isn't really in the worst location. I think it's just far right now. Now the price points are going to be a little bit higher with some of those builders in there, so it's just kind of dependent on, you know, what do you care about most and what are you willing to compromise on, and we'll get right into the 55-foot lot. So I'm going to try to get to the 65s. I'm really just going to try to focus on the 55s because I think the 55s, the 55s, that's a good sized lot to begin with. I'll talk about 40s. That's not my favorite thing to talk about because people really don't like 40-foot lots unless maybe you're a single person or maybe you have just you and your kid living within the home, not a huge family. So I usually like talking about 50-foot lots and up. So that's why I like this neighborhood is because they're doing 55-foot lots in here starting at the 550s for a single story, which is a bit of money, but I mean, where I feel like I'm saying that within every neighborhood now is everything's a bit of money, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. You can go to Sutton Fields and buy a D.R. Horton and, you'll be within Prosper ISD closer to everything, but you're going to be within a D.R. Horton. So that just comes with, different standards of quality. All right, we'll jump into this first one, which is the 2493W plan. Let's look at this floor plan. Let's open this up. Okay, so when it gets into these one-story plans, a lot of them will have that look of the, I call it the apartment vibe, where it kind of just goes from kitchen into dining into family room. I like it better when I see the one-story floor plans that are set up more like this, where it has the family room kind of separated and the dining and the kitchen are kind of stacked up on each other like they have it here. So you've got the dining over in this corner, family room, kitchen, plenty of countertop space up along there. And then they don't have a box out window on this, but maybe you could add that as a structure upgrade just to give it more of a seating area instead of having that dining table be pushed out a little bit further. Sometimes people put like a boxed out shelf type window there just because they can use that as actual seating if you have a bigger family. 3-car garage, bedroom at the front. You're going to have this game room as well. Maybe you can convert that into a study, but this one's starting at a 4-bed. I really like the bathroom in here. Like this primary bedroom, 17 by 13, decent. We are on a 55-foot lot, so it's not going to be the biggest, right? 12-foot ceilings, that's about standard. But I like how they have the dual closets and then the separate vanities, and then you have the tub in the middle with the shower behind it. I like this layout a lot more than some of the other ones that I come through. The bathroom has a lot better symmetry within it, which just feels better within the house. You could do an extended covered patio. Maybe you do that, maybe you don't. I wouldn't really recommend doing the extended covered patio because this all depends on which way the home's facing too as well. But if you do the extended covered patio here, you're going to limit more light coming into this family room. So, I'd really just keep the covered patio how it is, and I really wouldn't spend the extra money. I'd rather have more natural light coming into that family room than having an extended covered patio. But maybe you want to do the extended covered patio because you want to add some sliding glass here or open it more up. That could be an option too. Utility room looks like a decent size. Mud room entering in. 12-foot ceilings on the entryway. The entryway at the beginning of the house is going to be very tight. I do like how they opened it up a little bit wider once you get into more of the house, but it's still going to be fairly skinny. But I do like how they made that a little bit wider because I've walked through some of these houses. And it's more on the 50-foot lots, but still some of the 55s, and not just specifically this builder. Usually Perry Homes does a decent job adding like some type of tray ceiling with a little bit more width on the entryway, but it really just depends on the floor plan and the size lot. Just at the beginning of this, it's going to be very tight. Let's see, one of the bedrooms comes with its own bath. Decent size walk-in closet for this bedroom 3 and 4, but bedroom 2 closet looks like it's irrelevant. I mean, it probably is a bit of a walk-in closet, but not, I'm going to say not really. The elevations. The other thing with the Perry Home elevations is I like them just about. I mean, I'll look at a Shattuck Home elevations. I'm like, man, I don't like any of these. I'll look at, what's another builder maybe? I find Shattuck Homes. I don't really like the Shattuck Home elevations. Maybe there's another builder. I can't really think of it off the top of my head, but usually Perry Homes, I'm liking all of them. I don't like this one. This one's a little bit too much of a triangle for me. It looks like a big arrow just coming out of the ground. That looks a little funky to me, but oh yeah, this one here. Elevation E52. I think this looks the best. I like that one the best. I don't like the split garages like that. I do the one garage, but it seems like they have that all the way through. But yeah, I like that one. If I was to pick an elevation, that's the one I would go with. They also have like a half stone accent. I probably end up just doing full brick. But sometimes I wouldn't do this. This doesn't look what this looks like with the red brick with the sandstone look or the lighter brownstone. This just looks cheap to me, because this is what like lower end tier builders kind of make all their houses look like, and that just looks a lot cheaper to me rather than this is a little bit too modern and boxy and weird looking. This looks solid. That looks really nice. And that one's starting at $577,000. We're going to drop down to $553,000. I don't have these filtered in exactly the best way, but I think they have them filtered more by square footage. Okay. So even though this one is more expensive at $577,000, this one is $20,000 cheaper, and it's a little bit bigger, but we'll see how this one is set up. See if it's any better. Okay, so this is the 2504W, 2-car, 1-story, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,504 square feet. Let's see this one. All right, this is the floor plan I don't like. Yeah. I don't like this one. I also like that other one coming with the 3-car garage. You do get a home office at the front, which is nice, but you also have that game room in that previous floor plan. Bathroom's going to be about the same. Looks like you're going to get maybe another foot in both directions on the primary bedroom, but I don't like the kitchen, dining, and family room setup with this floor plan. I tend to stick away more from this floor plan when I walk in with families, just telling them, hey, this is not exactly the best layout. It's a layout, but to me, I don't think this one's the best one, because it just kind of all feels like one big room. And like I said, at least with this previous one we looked at, kind of has it like separated. You also get a lot more cabinet space. It's going to look like on this counter over here. And then you get that 3-car garage. Now, they don't have that office space, but you could use that game room as an office space too. So I think it is still nice that they give you that option on there. What else with this one? Primary bath, like I said, it's going to be the same. Bathroom. Okay, this bedroom's interesting because you're going to get... Oh, okay, that closet's out in the front. I thought this closet here was within the bedroom, but you have this closet here that's within the bedroom. Bathroom out, shared with these two. I wish they would have connected this utility room, but then again, the closet space isn't that big, and I think it's kind of one of those things where I think the builder is rather doing it where they know they're not going to have a lot of space within this closet, and you start putting a door here for the utility room, you're going to knock out a whole row of closet rods. So I think instead, at this square footage and how big these closets are, it might be better to just not have a door there. Now, you could, once again, ask them to upgrade that structurally and do that, but that's just going to cost some money on whether or not you want to do that. All right, elevations. E1 looks decent. E30, I don't know about that one. Kind of looks like a big McDonald's sign. It looks like a big M, or like bat ears coming out of it. I don't know if I like that one. E51's a little bit better, but I don't like the stone. E52, it's kind of got like a French Tudor type of look to it. I don't mind that. E56, that one doesn't look good. E59, I don't like that one either. I think the best one out of this one is going to be E52. I think this one has like a bit of charm to it. I also like this pattern that they did with the brick on that right side. And the stone here I don't like. I do full brick, but I kind of like how they match the stone with the brick. It kind of makes it all subtle and doesn't pop out too much. I think this is fine. Actually, you know what? I think this is fine. When you have the stone matching with the brick like this, I think it's tasteful. When it's something, we'll jump back over to this plan. Let's see. Like this one, it just pops out way more and just doesn't look. What it looks like to me is that you ran out of brick or you ran out of stone, and then you went down the street and stole some brick or stone from a house getting built and you threw it on this one. That's what the look of this kind of reminds me of. All right, so for $20,000 more, I'd still rather take this 2493W plan just because you get a 3-car. You still get that game room. Maybe the primary bedroom isn't as big as this other one, but I think this one's laid out a little bit better in my opinion with the family room and gathering spaces. All right, this is the 2519 plan. Let's go down to this one, and this one's going to be priced at $558,000, so just a little bit more expensive than the previous one we looked at. They've got this covered patio hidden back a little bit more. I think that's fine. You're going to get some more natural light coming in through this dining area. Family room's going to lack on natural light, most likely, just because you have this covered patio that kind of sinks more in. But with these houses and how close they're building them and not having a lot of privacy, I'm really more of a fan of the covered patios that get put in back like this. It's just that sometimes you might want to add structurally another window in this dining room area just to bring in some more natural light. In this primary bedroom, it looks like it's missing, I don't know, they have the windows over on the right side. They're kind of missing windows over on the left. That would look kind of funky to me. I don't know if that's exactly correct on that. Maybe. All right, let's go back to the front. So this is about the same as that last one, but the game room's a little bit bigger. You could do the utility option with a half bath. So you could do a utility with a half bath. I don't see that a whole bunch. I don't really see many people doing that. Closet spaces are a little bit better than that 2493 plan. Was that the one that we, yeah, a little bit better than that 2493 plan, but not crazy better. I still think I'd rather take this plan because the kitchen in here looks like you get way more countertop space. And you might also get a bigger, you get about the same size bedroom. It's a toss-up. I think if you care more about privacy on your back patio, go with this one. If you care more about the game room, having a bigger office, go with this one. And this one's the 2519, but they're going to be pretty close. 2-car garage. I think that one is also better with the 3-car. Yeah, I think there is a bit more value with that 3-car garage. Especially if you're going to, have kids and then your kids are going to get a little bit older, or maybe they're in middle school and then, they're about to start driving. All right, elevations. That looks good. That looks good. I don't like that one. If you guys notice, I don't really like the ones that are like really squared and flat. It just doesn't make the house look as grand. Like, look how much taller these elevations are. Now, these elevations are probably going to be more expensive because you have more brick and more materials being used, as you can kind of notice on that. But this one doesn't. This one makes the house look very, very flat and old. Kind of like what some of those neighborhoods on my driving tours I do through like some of the older cities and older neighborhoods. They're like 1-story with just like that flat roof that comes down with the vaulted ceilings in like the family rooms, or like the living room and dining area. That's what it kind of reminds me of. I like this one. Once again, they match that stone with that brick. That doesn't look too bad to me when they do that. When they match that stone with the brick, that's okay. That doesn't hit me as hard. I'm not totally against that. All right, this one is the 2545. Yes, 2545W plan. 2-car garage, 4-bed, 3-bath, $555,000. So we're going up in square footage, but we are still a little bit cheaper than that 577 home as well. Let's look at this floor plan. All right, already hate it. You do get a little bit bigger bedroom. Primary closets are split. Game room is going to be the size of that 2493 plan. Bedrooms, you get 13-foot ceilings in the entryway. A little bit taller, but you still get 12-foot in. If the other ones were like 10, then I'd be like, oh man, 13 foot, that's gonna feel a lot better on that entryway. But we're just talking about 12 and 13. That's not a huge difference on the feel of things. You will notice it slightly, but the difference between 12 and 13, it's gonna be a little bit more minimal than, of course, like a 10-foot high ceiling on the entryway. But usually, like standard, I see 11. 12 is good, 13 is great. And we're talking about 1-stories here, right? Once we start getting into 2-story homes, you're gonna start seeing entryways with, you know, floor to ceiling. By floor to ceiling, I mean like it goes up 2 stories. But yeah, I don't like this dining and family room area. Not a fan of that. And no, they don't have any windows structurally on this side of the family room, which that's a little funky to me. They just have it in the dining room area. I think you need some type of window on the left and the right side. Now, they probably don't have, you know, windows set up here because this is probably where you're going to hang up your TV, but still putting a window on the far right side and the far left side of this family room, it still would make more sense to me. You could still put your entertainment center and all that stuff in the middle. It also depends on where they put the fireplace. I'm going to guess they put the fireplace right in the middle and not over in the corner. They might put it in the corner. They're not really giving me that upgrade to see what it looks like. All right, what else here? Utility closet, decent size. Primary bath, about the same. I mean, when it comes to the primary bathrooms on the Perry homes, like I feel like they do it really good. Anyone have any questions? We got 6 people watching. I'm down if y'all just want to hear me talk all day. But if you do have any questions specifically about Perry home floor plans or anything in general, happy to answer. All right, let's look at elevations. E1, decent. E30, we're getting a little bit better. Ooh, E50. I think it's just more the stone and the brick that's really hurting my eyes. I mean, once again, I don't know. I think there's also a fine line between being like the house or an elevation that's too much of a triangle peak. They do break it up a little bit more over here on the garage, but I don't know. Sometimes this just scares me. Because I feel like, and I don't know why this popped into my head, but I think maybe 3 years ago, I think 3 years ago, there was a grocery store, I think a Fiesta grocery store over in Little Elm that had a facade. And the wind blew it so hard that it just tipped over, because I guess the wind blew on that backside of it and just tipped it over. Whenever I see something that's like pitched super high like this, not that it's going to happen, it's just, I don't know why in my head I feel like it's just so much of a peak it's going to fall over on itself. It's not going to. The house is going to be solid unless a tornado comes into town. Of course, it's going to probably do some damage. But when it gets super peaky like this, I'm like kind of like scared walking up to the house because I feel like it's going to fall over like a facade. I don't like the brick color on this, but the elevation's decent. I don't like E53. I don't mind E72. I don't mind that look. I'm not really a fan of the metal roofs either. You really just see that more on maybe the office window or up above the garages or maybe some of these that are where the attic space is. I'm not really a fan of it because over time, it's just going to get weathered down and not look as good and chip away, and hail could possibly dent it as well. So I think you're better off just leaving it or putting some type of wood kind of thing there instead of having it like metal flashing. I'm not as big of a fan on the metal accents. Out of all these elevations, I think I like E30 the most. I think I like this one. I think this one has the best charm to it. I also like the window. That window in this front bedroom is okay. This one's a little bit smaller. This one's a good, decent size. A little bit smaller, but I like this one. This one's a good, decent size there. Okay. This one is the 2586W plan. Let's see what this one looks like. So far, my number one is still this 2. Is it this 24? Is it this one? Yeah. This right now, if you guys are just joining in, Right now, if you're looking at 1 stories, 55-foot lots, this 2493 plan is, I think, the best plan in my opinion so far. All right, this one is the 2586W plan, $571,000, 2,586 square feet, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2-car garage. Let's open this up. Once again, you have this family room area. I don't like that. Closet space on this one looks really big. That other closet kind of stinks, but someone's going to get a nice big closet on there. Home office at the front. That's nice. Entryway is not too long. Get straight into like the kitchen area. Covered patios extended all the way down to the wall. That's a decent size. Bedroom 2, bedroom 3 over on the right side. 2-car garage. This one's not bad. You get a really big bedroom space. That is nice. That one's a 20 by 14. That other plan I was just talking about, you're going to be at like a 17 by 13. So a lot smaller in there. So, you know, that might be a deal breaker for some people. But once again, this floor plan, I just don't like when it goes from kitchen facing straight into the dining and then facing straight out to the family room. Just feels a lot like an apartment to me. All right, let's look at elevations. Not really much to touch on this one. I mean, this bedroom 4 is going to have its own bath in it, but most of these floor plans are having that. It looks like you could do an optional half bath within this entry, which I would do. Anything else with this? No, not really. Elevations. E1. Not really doing it for me. E51, a little bit better. E90, I don't mind. I like that. See how they have the actual shingles on this? I'd rather have that than the metal roof. E31, I don't know. To me, all right, first impressions, when I'm looking at this elevation, it's giving Cyclops. Like, you just have a big eye in the middle in this entryway. It's giving Cyclops. I don't really like that. I think E90 looks good. It does seem a bit off-centered. I wish they would have made this a little bit more centered on the doorway. Kind of looks like it's leaning over to the left. Kind of the same thing with this E51, but I think either of these, E51 or E90, I think those are good elevations. Okay, I do really like the size of this primary bedroom, though, for it being a 1-story. It's a lot better than the other ones. I could make up for the family room and the dining all being in one thing here. Maybe. All right, now we're really jumping up in price. We are now getting into the 2-story homes. Let's see, how many more of these do I have? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I'm probably just going to get to the 55-foot lots today and not really going to talk about the 65s. Okay. This one is 2,599 square feet, 2 stories, 2 cars, 4-bed, 3-bath, 1 half-bath. Perfect. They give me both the upstairs and downstairs right next to each other. All right. 19-foot ceilings in the entry. Great. Home office at the front. Could be a bedroom 5. I mean, why not turn it into a bedroom 5 and make it a bedroom 5? Because at the end of the day, you can always make a bedroom into an office, but you can't quite always make an office into a bedroom because you also need closet space within there too. I don't know. I would hope that if they're going to change this to a bedroom 5, they would add some type of walk-in closet. It's probably going to limit the dimensions of the room. It might not be a 13 by 12 anymore, but might be a little bit smaller, but that is something that you could do because you can always just turn it into a home office. Kitchen, looks like you're going to have decent countertop space and prep area around the gas stovetop, dining area, 2-story family room. I think that's awesome too. You get 19-foot ceilings in the family room. And here's the other thing I like with this floor plan. So usually if we go back, let's just jump to one of these real quick. Let's see. Okay, so for example, this one. So you see how the covered patio is just kind of out and about and you're not going to have any privacy. Now you could add like a motorized screen thing and have more privacy with it. Could be the case. I don't mind this. With the primary bedroom extending so far out, you know, you're not going to be as exposed. So I don't actually mind how far back this footprint goes on here. I do wish this did have a 3-car garage, but I believe we're looking at one of the cheapest 2-story homes. There might be one that's a little bit cheaper than this, but we'll look at it here in a second. Closet space, not as good as some of the 1-stories. I will say that. It's one full closet, but some of those other, I think having the dual closets, it's pretty good. But it also depends on the size of the dual closets, because sometimes the Perry homes will have dual closets, but it's like, why are we even doing this? There's like no space in any of these dual closets. You're better off just making it one thing. Upstairs, game room when you walk up. Bedroom 4 has its own bathroom. Bedroom 3, bedroom 2 are shared out with a bath. This is a pretty standard one. It doesn't look like it comes with a media room, so I don't really know if I'd 100% recommend this unless they're going to give you the option to maybe add a media room somewhere in this home. But it doesn't look like they're giving that option. Maybe you can do that. Can you do that? Let's see. No, they're not saying anything. No. All right, let's look at elevations real quick. E1, not bad. Ooh, E51. Once again, too boxy for me. E52 looks good. I would say E52 is the best looking one in my opinion. And that one's starting at $598. Okay. Here we go. Oh, there is another 1-story here that there's a couple more 1-stories that we'll look at. This one is the next one at $604,000. 2,694 square feet, 2 stories, 2-car garage, 4-bed, 3-bath. Let's see. Oh, that kitchen countertop space looks like there's like no prep room there. I don't like that. Bedroom, bathroom, closet looks a bit better than the last floor plan, but once again, this dining room straight into this family room, I don't like that as much. Home office at the front, I do like that. Man, I'm liking some of these 1-story homes better than the 2 stories. And I think the thing that's doing it for me is the how that other one was laid out. Let's see. See, I like this family room way better. I mean, look at all the countertop space you get with this gas stove top and probably more cabinetry. I don't like how we're getting more expensive and now you're limiting the prep space at the gas stove top. I don't like that. I don't like how we're getting more expensive, but yet the kitchen feels like it's getting more smaller. Or more small. Is that the right grammar? Okay, we're back to the 2694 plan. Upstairs, game room, bedroom 4. Looks like a bathroom is shared out. Ooh, I don't like this bathroom. And I don't like the showers that get cut like this over in a corner. It just makes the shower feel way smaller. I think you're better off with this floor plan that we just looked at, where the shower is like a full rectangle box. They have the tub over to the side. I actually like how this primary is laid out because you've got one vanity. Now, the other thing you could do, oh, maybe you can't do it. That sink might be too close to the wall for coding. But it would be nice if this vanity was big enough to be able to put the sink a little bit offset and then have like a knee space to get ready. Because this vanity is a lot bigger, but you might not be able to do that. Because I believe the sink has to be a certain distance off the wall due to outlets and stuff for coding, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. I don't know. They got this one pretty close to the wall, so you might be able to get away with it. Or maybe they just messed up on this graphic, because this sink here looks a lot centered than this one on this side. But I don't like how this primary bath is set up with the tub right in the middle and the shower kind of cut off over in the corner. Yeah, not a fan of the 2694. Let's look at elevations. E1, good. E53, good. E71, that's decent. That's okay. I do feel like there is a lot of brick on this E53 that's just maybe a bit too much. I think E51's the best on this. Yeah. And if you have this home office here, right, if this is the home office at the front of the house, now 11-foot ceilings, that's going to be pretty standard, nothing crazy there. But the home office with like a window like this is going to get great natural light in it. But when you do this type of elevation, you're really limiting like the size of the window looking out towards the front yard in the street to just kind of see what's going on. And then also having this extended roof line coming over, you're just limiting the amount of natural light going into the office space. So I don't really like that as much for that elevation. All right, we're back to 1 stories, so heads up there. I don't know why Perry Homes didn't. I think it's maybe just the size square footage is getting bigger. Yeah, we're at 2,700 square feet now. All right, this one's $577,000, 2,726 square feet, 4-bed, 3-bath, no half baths. Let's see what this one looks like. All right, covered patio. You could, okay, good size island. Little bit higher ceilings. Bigger game room. Still don't get the 3-car garage. I still go back to that 3-car garage. I still feel like that's a little bit better. Bathroom vanities being across from each other, I think that's all right. Shower is going to be a good size. Bedroom 14 by 18. Decent size. I like this family room. I like how it kind of extends out where it's over here, and then the kitchen and dining is set back a little bit more, and then this covered patio is, once again, you're going to be a little less exposed, but you're still going to be exposed on this left side. Now, you could put a motorized screen there or something to just pull down to stop your neighbor from seeing right into that covered patio. But you're not fully exposed here. I don't know. Maybe I would rather have more square footage within the house and then just have the covered patio coming out here instead of, like, why not? Because here's the thought. You're already pushing the family room so far up. Why not just take the covered patio, push it out to here where the optional extended covered patio is. You're then able to slide the dining room up. You're then able to slide the kitchen up. The game room gets slid up. And then you might even have room for an office at the front of the house. So I feel like this covered patio, honestly, being set back in here, with how they have the family room set up, I feel like this is just a waste. They could have made this actual into square footage of the home and then been able to put an office. Because if there was an office at this, I would say that this would have been like one of the top ones. Even though it does have that 2-car garage, how the bathroom's set up, the size of the closet, size of the bedroom, 14 by 18, you're getting a little bit more than that 17 by 13. You're going to feel just maybe a slight difference. Not a huge difference, but I don't really know if I'd extend this covered patio because, once again, you've got all these windows on the family room, and if you do that extended covered patio, you're just going to be limited. I mean, if I was to extend the covered patio, I just extend it out to like this point here. That way you're still getting, nothing covered around these windows, and more natural light can come into that family room. But once again, this all depends on which way the house is facing. If the house is facing south, at that point, you can do the covered patio. You obviously don't really care that much about having natural light in your family room. If the home is facing out towards the north or either east or west, then you probably care a little bit more. All right, I'll jump back in here real quick. Anyone have any questions? No one's having any questions. We're a little bit quiet on the chat. Not a big deal. I'm just going to kind of keep talking to myself. Here we go. Oh, which one did we look at? The 2726. I didn't mind that one. That was a weird noise I made. I didn't mind that one. Sound like a puppet. Okay, 587 here. This is the 2734 plan. or 2373 floor plan, excuse me. Let's open this up. Oh wait, what is this starting at? This is starting at $587,000. And we're talking about a 1-story here. Let's see what we're doing. Let's see what we're working with. Good countertop space in the kitchen. Not the biggest island, but decent size. Family room. Covered patio is really small. I don't even really see the point of that covered patio, to be honest. Probably going to end up doing the optional extended covered patio because that's a pretty small cover. I mean, I think you'd still be able to fit out like a chair space and things, but a lot smaller than those other ones, I feel like. 17 by 16 primary bed. This is not bad. Utility room also really close to this primary bed. Home office at the front. Entryway, 2-car garage, bedroom. Game room. I like this one. You get the game room and you get the home office at the front. Okay, now I understand why they have this one like that. It's because they have this floor plan. So this floor plan kind of makes up for that other one. It is a little bit more expensive, but you do get the home office at the front. I like this floor plan. I do not mind. Wait, hold on. Time out. I think this pantry sucks. I don't think that's going to be a good pantry. That's not even a walk-in pantry. You're telling me I'm about to spend base about over $500,000 and you're making my pantry that big? Come on, y'all. I mean, where are you going to put... I mean, I understand where are you going to put the pantry when you have the game room right here? But I don't think that's going to be as good. Anything else with this floor plan? Bedroom 4 gets its own bathroom. Great. All right, let's look at elevations real quick. E1. E30, I don't like as much. Ooh, I like this one. This one's got some charm to it. I don't mind that. E50 looks good. Ooh, E71. We're getting bad. We're getting bad again. Bad. Get out of here. E32, get out of here. I don't like that. E50. This one's got some charm with it. I like that. That looks nice. All right. Finally got a chat. Here we go. Hi, Daniel. Is North Sky too far north if we consider Celina city limits? Are they building any stores nearby North Sky? So this is kind of one of those things where you're buying into an area where it's all developing. So no, right when you drive out of the neighborhood, you're not going to have a Louis Vuitton. You're not going to have, Ross Payless or Marshalls or a Target or a Walmart. You are going to have a gas station at least, so that is a positive. For a long time they haven't had a gas station up that far, but they're finally putting that in, so that's a start. The thing with all this is once you start getting the Dallas North Tollway going up to 428, a lot more things are going to come to this area. So once again, you're buying new construction. You should want, in my opinion, if you're buying new, and this is just me, right? Everyone's different. But for me, if I'm buying new construction, I want to be buying around where there's still a bunch of open fields and there's nothing really developed yet around me. That way, value's being built over time as they bring more things to the area, rather than buying the new construction in an area that already has everything around it, and now all the value is already priced into the home, and you might not see as much of a gain as maybe potentially some other areas. Now, it all comes down to the neighborhood too, and what's in the neighborhood, and what city it's zoned for. But if you're not having to commute down to Dallas and maybe just North Plano or Frisco, I don't think this North Sky neighborhood is a bad option, especially it being on 55-foot lots as well at this price point, because you can just go a little bit more south and you start getting into 55 and 60-foot lot. I mean, you go into 60-foot lots just 10 minutes more south, 5 minutes more south down Preston, and you're talking about at this level of build with an American Legend or Perry home, you're talking about almost $1 million house, 900,000, 850,000, with the type of amenities within that neighborhood. So I think the price point is favorable right now. It's just that I do have kickback from people that express this saying too far north, but back in the day they were saying Prosper was too far north. Even 2 years ago, people were saying Parks at Wilson Creek was too far north, but over the past year, I've had so many families moving into there, and you've got builders in there that have been sold out or just sold out within the community, because now people are okay with buying in there because they know Costco is right down the street now, or at least coming in. H-E-B is going to be closed. The Lowe's is going in. A bunch of other restaurants. Really, the only place you want to be close to or relatively close to is going to be the Gates of Prosper, because that's going to open it more up to more of the shopping, Walmart, Target, and the things you probably need. But like I said, the Costco is coming in, and that's going to be closer to North Sky than Gates of Prosper. It's just that Gates of Prosper is going to have other types of restaurants that might be a little bit better. Mayank says, what's the most affordable community in Celina with 50-foot two-story homes around $575K? I think that's gonna, two-story home, you're probably Wilson Creek Meadows, but not for 2 stories. 2 stories for a 50-foot lot at $575. I don't really think that's, you could go over to Legacy Hills, but now you're buying something like a Beezer or a D.R. Horton or a Starlight home. And at that point, you probably care more about the size of the house rather than the quality of the build. So $575 is really pushing it. That's $575 all in, or is that base price and then you can build on top of that? All right, let's jump back to the floor plans real quick. Hey, at least one person asked a question, so I kind of feel useful. All right, this is the 2797W plan, and of course it's 2,797 square feet, 2 stories, 2-car garage. Where's the 3-car? Give me the 3-car. Maybe you can do it. Maybe you can add a 3-car within this neighborhood. Maybe not. By that I mean just an extension over on the right side, not actually like blowing out a wall and pushing it further back like some of that other floor plan. I still like that 1 story that had the 3-car garage. It's not a bad floor plan. Okay, dining room here, that's a waste of space. That should be like a media room or game room, but maybe they have that upstairs. They have the game room. Yeah, this dining room needs to be a media room. I wouldn't do a dining room there. I just keep your morning area as the dining room. I don't like this bathroom. Yeah, $600K including upgrades. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head right now at $600K including upgrades with all that stuff. What's the most affordable? Because the other thing too is you're gonna have these communities that have different HOAs, and they're also going to have different priced PIDs within them as well. So that's also going to change the affordability on the house too. If you're not working with an agent, maybe you are. Either way, anyone else watching right now that does want to work with me, here's my phone number. Just send me a text and I can work more with you on your home search. Let's jump back into this. So I really don't like this primary bathroom. The vanities, we're getting over $600,000, and this is what you're making my vanities look like. I make the utility, like, why not make the utility room smaller? Because, like, at the end of the day, do we really need the utility rooms being that big? We just need to make sure it fits a washer and dryer and has a closet rod, and maybe a linen closet on the inside or the outside. Make this utility closet smaller, push this closet back, make the vanities bigger, make this bathroom better. I don't understand. You got a 16 by 14 bedroom, so we're also getting smaller on the bedroom. This is not, and you have a dining room here that's just a waste of square footage and not going to really add more value to the house. I don't like this floor plan. Sorry, that was a bit harsh. I'm sorry. Let me calm down. 2797W plan. I'm sorry for that. I should not. That was a bit out of line. I like this E1 elevation plan. I don't like the E33. E50 is decent. E70 is decent. I think the best looking one is this EW plan. I don't know. The curved windows over on the left and the right side, that kind of looks nice. I don't mind that. All right, we're getting down to our last 5. How long have we been doing this? 15 minutes? Okay, this is pretty good timing. Usually try to make these live streams about an hour long. All right, now we're starting to get up into the 650, so please, for the love of God, Perry Homes, please start giving me good floor plans because we're getting up there now. All right, 20 by 12 primary bedroom. That's a decent size. Oh, no. Oh, at least you get a big island space, but the kitchen is going to it's going to go right into the, oh, man. Why me? Why me? You do get the 3-car garage. Thank God. Now, at least we're starting to add the 3-car garage, so at least we have that. Game room. You have the media room upstairs. That's good. Okay, this is the other thing. I do see a lot of floor plans that are set up like this. Okay, where it has the kitchen and this. I'm talking about 2-story plans here. Yes, I see it more on the 1-stories, but even with the 2 stories, I still find it this way. I like it better when the kitchen and the dining room are the same height, and then the family room gets into like the 19-foot ceilings. I'm not as much of a fan with the 19-foot ceilings as high into the family room. It just makes that space feel awkward to me. I know that there's probably plenty of people in here that would rather have it this way with the dining being taller. But for me, I like it better when the dining has a lower ceiling on it, just because, you know, you're eating dinner, it feels more intimate. If that makes sense. Not that at the dining table you're really trying to get intimate with your family, right? Because you're seeing them all day. It's probably the last thing you want to do. But to me, I just like it being above the dining room. But I know there's plenty of people that are going to like it with high ceilings within the dining room. Closet space, you get it split. Okay. I think, okay. Hold on. Okay, I need some water. That was bad. I've been going for 50 minutes straight, y'all. I'm a little parched. Upstairs, like I said, you get that media room. That's great, but other than that, I mean, there's nothing else that... I mean, we're starting to get up into 600. Once again, I go back to the 1-story floor plan on that one. I think I like that one the most. And it was one of the cheapest. Well, I guess when you compare it to the 2 stories. Elevations, E1 looks good. E30, not a fan. E50... I mean, the curved roof line, okay, looks good here and there, but at this point, it just looks like a big skateboarding ramp to me. It kind of feels weird. I don't like that as much. I don't like how one half of the house is like pointy, symmetrical, angular, and then this other half is like just this big swoop in here. E52, that brick is atrocious, but I don't mind the actual design of what that looks like. I think that brick is bad, though. That don't look too good. Okay, this is $647,000. So we're going $4,000 up compared to that other one. 3,095 square feet, 2 stories, 3-car garage, 4-bed, 3-bath. Give me something good here. All right. Here we go. All right. All righty. This is a good one. Wait, I spoke too soon. The primary bathroom vanities suck. But other than that, how this kitchen is set up, morning area. In this situation, I don't mind the dining because at least upstairs, you could do the optional media room, but I would be interested to see what the builder says if you just ask the builder to turn this into a media room instead of spending more money on changing this into a media room. But once again, this is already unfinished storage, so they're already building out this space. It's not necessarily like they're adding more, like a lot more material to it, because they're kind of already building it out as unfinished storage space. So it's not really adding another whole structure. It's kind of already there. So it really might not be too much of an upgrade to also add that. But you also here, hold on, let's rewind this. You also could do a bedroom 5 here. So if you could do the bedroom 5 there, and then change this dining into the media room, I don't mind that. I think that would be the best setup. I think I like this floor plan, one of the top ones. I don't like this bathroom. You do get the split closets, that's great. Utility, 3-car garage. There's a lot of things that make up for how small these vanities are. You also get the 19-foot ceilings, wide entryway. All right, this is a top floor plan. I like this one. Finally, it only took us getting to $650,000 for them to throw something out that I actually thought was somewhat decent. All right, now we're at 658. This is the 3299W plan, 3,299 square feet, 2 stories, 3-car, 4-bed, 3-bath, 1/2 bath. Let's see this. Ooh, you get the curved staircase, you get the family room, good sized kitchen, dining, bedroom, home office. You get the vanities together, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but then again, if you're telling me that this previous one have the vanities like this, I think I'd rather take the vanities together like that. But maybe not. I mean, if you really want your space, have your space. Closet looks like a good size. I think this one's great. This one's not showing any major red flags. And then you could do a media room. Or I guess you could do an optional theater, but it comes with a media room. Yeah, but you get the curved staircase. I wish the curved staircase was more at the front of the house. It's kind of more in the center. That's not a huge deal. But I think I like that other floor plan more, because you got the option to do that 5th bedroom, and like I said, you could turn that dining room probably into a media room if you really want the media room, which, there is a demand for the media room, people, buyers do want that nowadays. I mean, and this also just goes to show you how much people want media rooms. I was working with a family who wanted to buy a house, and they were already pretty close on the financing when they got pre-approved, when it came down to what the house base and elevation upgrades they were going to do, and they didn't want to add a media room, but because they were so close on their financing, the builder thought they were taking a big risk with them, and so they were kind of backing them into a corner to tell them, hey, we can make a contract with you, but in order to do that, we do need to build a media room here, which I don't know the legality, but behind that of like a builder forcing you to have to build a media room if you want to go under contract with them. I guess they can decide that, but the builder was like forcing them to do the media room because their financing was already so close on the pre-approval, and they didn't want to do the media room. It all hit the fan and didn't work out, because both parties were just getting annoyed at each other. But that just goes to show you how much people want media rooms within the house, is the fact that the builder wanted them to build the media room. That way, if the builder got stuck with the house and having it to list themselves because for whatever reason the financing didn't work out, the builder knew they were going to be able to sell it or have a good chance at selling it with the media room. All right, we are at the 3395W plan. Did I just do this one? Oh no, I did not. 14 by 19, morning area, dining room, whatever, that's fine. Game room, media room upstairs. This is a good floor plan. Home office, good size. Bedroom 2, really big. That's a nice little guest suite. It connects within the utility closets, or utility connects in with the closet, and you also get a kind of shared closet with the linen in the middle. Vanities are split, and you also get that split vanity that's a little bit bigger, which is nice. Okay, but what's going on with the pantries, y'all? Why are we out here spending like $800,000, $700,000 on a house, and my pantries are still looking like that? We got to do something. I mean, we got to do something about the pantries. We should all be up in arms. I don't know. The pantries are just such a freaking buzzkill on these houses when I walk into them. Now, the only builder I'm finding with the good pantries is Tradition Homes. I'll even walk through a Highland home that's on like a 70-foot lot, and the pantry is just still so sad. Size does matter when it comes to the pantry. Especially if you have like a big family, right? Like if you're just one person, yeah, you're not going to care more. You know, you're not going to be caring about that pantry. All right, this is the 3395W plan. This one's 3-car, 4-bed, 3-bath, 1/2 bath. Okay. I don't like how there's 10-foot high ceilings in the primary bedroom. I think that needs to, at this price point, that needs to be at least 12 foot, like vaulted or a tray ceiling or something, but 10 foot being in the primary at this price point, that ain't it. Wait, did I just look at this one? Is this one set up like that one? I guess it's about the same. There's not really a difference between the three. Oh no, I did just click on the same one. Okay. Oh, what was the elevation on that? Hold on, let's see. All right, 3395 elevations. Okay, you see this entryway? How they have this single door, and then they've just got this one big piece of glass. Why not make this a double door? I mean, they probably can, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying standard. Why is this standard? Why not give me a double door there? No double door, single door with window, another single door, single door. People want double doors. And also on a 50-foot lot, getting a double door, you don't see it. It's a lot more rare. I mean, even at 60-foot lots, you're still not finding houses with double doors on them. Can you ask the builder structurally to change those things and upgrade it? Sure, but like once we start getting up into these price points, I mean, some of these standard things, you just, my goodness. All of these elevations look, oh, this one. I really like this one. The E100, this one looks really grand. I'm not the biggest fan of the stone, but that looks really good. That doesn't. E102 looks bad. E72, still not good. E54, still not good. E50, that's better. E1 is good, but I like this one. I just like I like the dimension with this house. You know, it's not all flat. It's like this house actually has like some character and curb appeal to it. Okay, here we go. The last home, the most expensive home. Let's see if it's the best floor plan. Oh, I'm not a fan. Why are we doing this with the kitchen into the dining into the family room? I'm out of here. I can't do this anymore. I can't do it anymore. Game room, media room, 2 bedrooms up. I think out of all of these, this one here, the 3095W plan for the 2-story, I think that's my favorite plan. And then the 24, I don't know where it's at, the 2493. Yeah, the 2493 is my favorite 1-story plan. Because it also comes with that 3-car garage. You could turn this bedroom 4 into its own, whatchamacallit, office. That's the word I was looking for. I like this one. And this one also isn't the most expensive. You're at $577. A little bit more than those 550 ones, but if you're looking at a 1-story, I think that's the best one. If you're looking at a 2-story, it was that where I lost it. There it is. It's that 3095 plan, which is priced at $647,000. So $40,000 cheaper than the most expensive plan, which is, I like that. You know, when I'm coming across, and I've said this in my previous live streams, when I'm coming across one of my favorite floor plans and it's not the most expensive floor plan, that's what I like seeing. Because it gives still room for that buyer to be able to upgrade the house with not going 100% over budget or not having to buy the most expensive house within the neighborhood type of deal, right? Because you never quite want that. All right, we're at 1 hour and 5 minutes. Not a lot of people chatted today. Not a big problem. Maybe next week we'll have some more people join. Thank you to everyone that did end up watching today, or that's also going to come back later after I post this. On the 13th, I should be good. Join me again. 6:20, 6:30 is when I'll be on. I'll do another hour. No one left on the live chat about wanting to see something for next week's video or another neighborhood. So leave them down in the comment section about a builder and neighborhood you guys want me to see reviewing their floor plans and talking about them briefly. I didn't get to the 65 foot, or is it the 65 foot lots in here? Was that what it was? Yeah, I didn't get to the 65. I didn't know if it was 60 or 65. I didn't get to the 65 foot lots. I just talked about 55 foot lots today. If you guys do want me to talk about the 65 foot lots sometime, I'm not going to do it next week or the following week, but maybe within this next 3 months, I'll make a video that's North Sky 65 foot lots with Perry Homes. So that's it today. Thank you to everyone that watched. I will catch y'all on the 13th next week. Bye, y'all.